giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine.
Let me ask you, have you ever conceived of a day where you can buy a flagship interchangeable lens camera for the price of what is essentially a few school lunches? Well, let's say sometimes you find a deal so good and cheap that you just have to buy it, and if it's bad, well, whatever, not too much money that was lost, and if it's good, then you scored a hell of a deal. Well, this year Olympus EP1 sits right in that ideal zone. Not only is it cheap, but it is also an absolutely brilliant camera. First of all, a little history lesson. In 2009, Olympus saw a future where smaller cameras were preferred instead of the bulky DSLRs that dominated the market at the time. So a prototype was revealed showing sleek, sharp lines and a small size that was a stark departure from the bulky and black rubber and composite plastic blobs from Canon and Nikon, completely capturing the attention of photographers for a professional class camera without all of the bulk. So finally, the Olympus EP1 was unveiled, the first Olympus mirrorless camera with the Micro Four Thirds mount, and a landmark achievement in photographic technology. 15 years later, this Olympus EP1 is now, well, a relative dinosaur. It's practically ancient in this ever-evolving landscape. But this is fortuitous for you, because nowadays you can find an EP1 relatively easily, and it's floating for around 20 to 40 bucks, at least in Japan. I got this EP1 for about 30 Freedom units, and it looks practically brand new. Let's talk about how the EP1 looks. Honestly, I don't get why people compare this thing to the Olympus Pen F film camera, because I don't think they look that similar at all. But that's because, for me, the EP1 has its own charm. With its shiny metal body and the matte silver top, it evokes a 70s space age vibe. It's not a design belonging to the past, it's what the past thinks the future would be like, all wrapped up in a camera body. Try to hold an EP1 in real life, because I don't think any of the pictures online or my footage does it any justice. All of the sleek lines and such are something you really have to see for yourself to appreciate. There's no viewfinder on this camera as well, helping to cut away from the hump of the usual DSLRs, and the back LCD display, whilst not the brightest nor the highest resolution, it has a very distinct color representation, and it makes it so when you view the pictures you take on that screen, it has a certain mood to it, and it looks quite nice. It's nice enough, honestly, that sometimes I would actually base my edits on how the pictures are displayed on this little LCD here. And if you do need it, of course, you can buy this VF1 optical viewfinder as well. Honestly, I got it just because it looks cool on this camera, not because it's that useful. Anyways, how's the output on the Olympus EP1? I think the pictures speak for themselves, don't they? For a 15-year-old camera, the EP1 still outputs some awesome photos. There's something about the JPEG engine of this first go from Olympus, and it's just simply magical. You not only get the vibrant colors of Olympus color science, but also a richness in the shadows and a tone curve that later Olympus's cameras do not quite have. Like the way it renders the colors of the sky, it kind of reminds me of sort of Kodachrome, honestly. I especially love the pictures coming from the 17mm f2.8 prime lens that was launched alongside this camera, and the Panasonic 14mm f2.5 when I'm feeling like I want to cosplay a Ricoh GR setup, you know, kind of small, compact street photography type stuff. With both of these lenses, they're gonna give you a small package that you can slip into a jacket pocket just for walking around and like taking snapshots of your everyday life. Of course, the EP1 has some flaws considering its age. When it came out, people lambasted for the slow autofocus performance, but I feel this is more of a fault of the kit lens that it came with. Because if you made it with good lenses such as this aforementioned Panasonic 14mm f2.5 or Olympus's own 25mm f1.8, then it focuses about as quick as any Olympus body ever did. No, my problem is not with the focus speed, it's the focus accuracy. Because I swear, the EP1 here will sometimes just choose a random point to focus on when it doesn't know what's going on in a scene. And with only basically 15 AF points barely covering half of the frame area, it's not gonna give you any finesse for subject control. Which is why my advice for focusing here would be to set the focus point at the center, focus on your subject, and then recompose afterwards. The layout of the EP1 also screams first generation. It's got a small rear dial that kind of randomly triggers like all the time. Something that a bunch of later Olympus and Panasonic bodies continue to employ, much to my annoyance. And although the mode dial here, it has a really nice design being sort of sunken into the body and the top plate, it kind of takes up perfectly usable space for what would be a pop-up flash. The top dial though, this thing, is very nice though, and it gives you some degree of ergonomic control when changing the exposure settings. Despite the achievement of creating a relatively compact camera body though, the sensor sitting inside the EP1, it was essentially ported over from their aging 4/3 DSLR lineup with pretty disappointing high ISO performance. Basically anything over 800 ISO is gonna be pretty splotchy with like color artifacting and shadow noise. But hey, if you edit your pics like me, you're just gonna slap on more grain and sharpening and just call it a vintage vibe anyway. So for the most part, it's fine for me. Casual shooting, daylight shooting, this thing does fine. Nighttime shooting, if you're going for a certain look, yes, but if you want clean pictures, EP1's probably not for you. Still, for about 30 bucks, I am definitely nitpicking on the EP1 here. And otherwise, I am very satisfied with this purchase because if nothing else, as you've seen this camera, right, it looks nice sitting on your shelves as sort of a decoration as well. In a world where old Digicams are being scalped to the high heavens, and then high-end compacts like the Ricoh GR and the Fuji X100 series are locked behind $1,000 price tags. Searching for a cheap, and I mean bargain basement cheap cameras, well, they seem to be an impossible task right now. Thankfully, the Olympus EP1 bucks this trend, being often available in the $20–40 range, at least in Japan. And it offers a pretty compelling case for a compact street and everyday carry setup yet still producing stunning results with brimming personality. Of course, it is effectively a 15-year-old camera with quite a few limitations, but if you know how to best exploit the EP1's hardware, just pair it with one of the many excellent Micro Four Thirds pancake primes and watch as it returns awesome photos, no less beautiful than ones taken on cameras that are multiple times this thing's price. Grab this diamond in the rough, the EP1, while you still can, before everyone else recognizes its potential and drives its price through the roof like they have with so many camera gems before.